the time of my life, and I owe it all to you. I had a great Saturday. This is a shop local video, but for those of you, my beloved Russian subscribers, no need to click out because while I am talking about a local shop for my area, a small business, which is the goal of these videos, I am talking about perfumes that span not only my country, but other countries as well. So hopefully there's something for everyone. And these are some really cool brands that I have not heard a lot about on YouTube. So hopefully I'm bringing something new to the table here. So the store that I went to on Saturday is Pickwicks Mercantile in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, which if you're not familiar with Portsmouth, New Hampshire, which I'm guessing most of you are not, it's an adorable little town made up of small businesses, very walkable, great restaurants. And the great thing about New Hampshire, for those of you who are from the US, is that there is no sales tax. So it's also a great place to go perfume shopping. You can pick up a few things and pay no tax, and that could add substantial amount to your bill. Big savings if you buy New Hampshire. So that's where I was. And this store, please, I'm going to link their website. Even if you're not local, I recommend you look at their website. It is adorable. They have like an apothecary section. They've got like your lipsticks and makeup too, candles. Everybody there was dressed in like period costumes, and they played like Broadway music while you were there. It was an experience. It was adorable. And they also have a tea shop that's like adjacent to them too, like a tea coffee place as well. So definitely recommend. I will put their website in the description, and you can spend a day. I mean, in Portsmouth generally, but just even at this particular store, the fragrance fellow, who I regretfully, I had him write down so much stuff for me, but not his name. I'm so sorry. Was amazing. You know, we had so much fun, or at least I did, and he pretended to have fun. I think he had fun. Just sampling. So he'd bring me a brand and show me his, favorites, talk about the notes together. And they have like 350, I think, niche perfumes, all niche, but the price ranges are also really decent. So the most expensive one that I picked up was, I think, 180, but everything I looked at was between like a little under 100 to 200 max, which for niche is not bad, especially for the uniqueness of what we looked at. And I probably made it through. I think we looked at maybe 5 brands together, but there were so many more. So I'm going back, especially because you'll see that I had kind of a trend in what I picked. That I picked some, I don't know. You'll see, I don't want to spoil it, but there's definitely ones that I sadly had to leave behind, that I will be going back for. Absolutely. So Pickwicks Mercantile, we made our way through some brands. So some brands that I did not, I'm going to start with the ones that I didn't end up buying anything from first. And then I'll talk about the brands that I did buy from and some of their background. But again, I had them all write them down for me. So the first one we started with was Imaginary Authors. It's a cool concept if you've never heard of it. Basically, they're imaginary fictional authors and then imaginary fictional books. And then the notes and their inspiration for their different fragrances is based on these books that do not exist. And I enjoyed that house. We did about 3 of them. There was like a leathery one that spoke my name a little bit. I was like, on the fence about until some other ones knocked it out of contending. There was also a really pretty floral with like a cherry blossom. Scents were all really pretty. That's another house that I would certainly revisit when I go back to Pickwicks, which I will, to try out some more of. They just kind of got knocked out by some of the stronger brands that I was more into a little bit later on. We also did I Hate Perfume, and then I did Burning Leaves from them. I asked, when they said I hate perfumes, is that like a molecule situation, where it just kind of brings out your natural scent? And no. It's closer to Maison Margiela's replica collection in that they try to make scents that don't smell perfumey. They just kind of invoke experiences. The one that I liked was Burning Leaves. The smell itself, so like it didn't smell like a by the fireplace, and it didn't smell like that autumn walk one either. It had its own unique scent to it. That was a maybe for me. Didn't buy it, but I Hate Perfumes is another one that I will revisit. So then this one, you might have seen, I get ads for this all the time, so I wanted to try it. These Etat Libre They are all over my Facebook. They're one that they push. They try to do like an edgy campaign. Like you might have seen like the ones that's like, oh, this smells like a cigarette. And that's when I smelled it. And it did. It did smell like a cigarette. Or they've got like this very shriveled looking old lady kind of scent. So they definitely have like an edgelord marketing. And their scents are pretty edgy too. Not in an unappealing sort of way, but they are very unique. The prices on them were decent too. The one that I was considering was like $95 for a decent amount. The one that I was closest to purchasing was called Delicious Closet Queen. But I was thinking about getting it for my husband, but he's got a little backlog of fragrances I've already pushed his way, so I didn't pull the trigger on it, but it was a maybe. It had like a cologne, more of a masculine vibe, but then some violet with it too. Very nice. And then there was also one called Palace. I don't know, I actually get the name of the perfume right? I think it's called Palace Whores. The first time I sprayed it, it just smelled like alcohol, like a blast of alcohol. And I said, nope, get this away from me. And he kind of put it back on the shelf. And then he said, yeah, that one's very powdery. And then I started smelling it. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay. You know, now I'm getting the powder. And it's like a very dry powder. But I actually was starting to come around on that one. He'd already kind of taken it away. And I had some that I liked better, so I let it go. But I would definitely smell that one again if I go back too. If you want something super dry and powdery, not like a babyish powder like you would get in like Angel Soft or anything like that. It was more very dry, like a powdered wig at a palace like they were going for there. So it was a cool one. I might go back and smell that one again. Okay, let's move on to the ones that I did buy from. I am going to start with this maniac. This is from Zoologist, and they are out of Canada. And this one is called Bee, and all of their scents are inspired by animals. I liked every single one that I smelled. The scents were so unique and bold and just nothing like you've ever smelled before, especially this one. This is why I bought it. The ones that I was closest to purchasing were also Moth and Snowy Owl. Snowy Owl I'm definitely going to go back for. I've talked about how spring where I am is kind of BS and how there's like still a lot of frost in the air, and that's kind of what Snowy Owl evoked. It wasn't really a winter scent. You know, the fellow that was kind of talking me through these scents was like, it reminds me of the spring, but where things still have that frost on them, but you start to get some pops of some flowers. And that's definitely what I was picking up. It had like a little bit of a mintiness too, but not in a Christmassy way, in like a crisp way. So that one I'm definitely going back for. I went with Bee. This smells like you crawled into a honeycomb. If you don't like honey scents, or if that doesn't sound like an experience you'd like to have, then I can't recommend this. But it's a honey bomb. And the first spray of it, like it's like clear the room strong with the first spray, and then the dry down is less bananas. It's more of a gentle honey, but a very unique honey, not like a sweet like Scandal kind of honey. It's definitely like the food honey. It's definitely a gourmand in terms of the honey. It's not like super sweet in that way. It's hard to say like it's honey bomb, but it's not super sweet. But honestly, I'm telling you, it's accurate. Check out this brand. I'm going to link their website below too. And I'm going to go back for like 3 more of these. Moth, as I said, was another one that I was looking into. And for sure, Snowy Owl. And then there were some that I don't think I tried that day, but I'm sure there's more out there that I want to try. So I'll be there. Zoologist. Have you heard about this? I had not. I think it's cool. So the next one was Kerosene, which is out of Michigan. It's a state in the United States. And I liked a bunch of these too. This one that I got is called Follow. And these, you can see, oh gosh, sorry about my lighting. There we go. If you could see this like plaque here, this is like a cut piece of metal. And then these are like hammered in words here. They look really cool. It's this cube. And there's like a lot of texture to this cap too, which I'm sure is not going to show up, but there's some nice texture to this cap too. This is a coffee scent. I love this one. I probably would have worn this the most since I brought it home. I didn't really have a coffee scent. And it's not coffee like a black opium coffee. It's different. It has like a spiciness to it too. I think there's saffron in here. It's a very heavy coffee, so it's not like a light, you can kind of get a whiff of the coffee. It is a very bold coffee scent, so it's another strong gourmand. I just love it though. I really do. I love the projection on it. I just love to wear it. It just makes me feel like comforted. I am a coffee fan. It doesn't smell like you spilled coffee on you. It smells more like you worked in your coffee shop all day and now you smell of the beans and you smell of, people put nutmeg or saffron or whatever. Like they put things in their drinks, the spices in their drinks, and you smell like that. And it's lovely. And there was another one here. Oh gosh, what is it? There was one, I'm gonna try to pull it up fast. I don't wanna stall the video, but if I can pull it up fast, I'm gonna grab it. I think it was this. Oh, I did that one too. All right, so the two that I was big fans of was this. Okay, so Dirty Flower Factory was the other one that I was on the fence over too. It had like a leathery floral. That one was probably like more wearable day to day. So I probably should have gotten it too. I'm not gonna say instead because as I said, I've worn this a ton, but I should have gotten that one too. I miss it already. I think that would have been a wearable day to day, especially in the fall and now going into winter. I'm gonna go back for that one. Website's also telling me it's $140. I think that's a great price for like all this volume and how strong it is. I'm gonna link it in the description. I'm gonna definitely try. They also have a discovery set. I really would like to buy all the Kerosenes directly through Pickwicks if I can, since I had such a great experience there and I wanna reward them with my business. But if they don't have the discovery set for whatever reason, I might get that from Kerosene directly and try their scents because I was a big fan of this whole house as well. And the last house is this Maria Candida Gentile. This is Noir Tropical out of, this is an Italian brand. Oh, this is coming up so cruddy. I'm so sorry. I'm going to put like pictures up on the side so you can like actually see what the heck I'm showing here. And you'll see this is a travel spray. That was not my intention. They just didn't have a full bottle left. So I did get the travel spray, but travel sprays work for me. That's totally fine. If I want more, I'll get more. This is another brand that I liked quite a few. So I had to make some tough choices. This one is, this Noir Tropical is a very boozy vanilla. Yeah, so I went with all these bombs. This is a vanilla bomb. Really strong note of vanilla there. It dries down really pretty, and then it has like that booziness to it. I think there's a rum note to it too. So very boozy. And I didn't really have a strong vanilla in my collection. So this filled another gap. They had, I'm gonna try to pull it up fast again. I have like the websites up so that I'm not totally walking you through these videos blind, but the other one that I wanted to talk about, if I can grab it fast, they'll have kind of like, okay, so there were two. Lady Day was one of them. That was inspired by jazz singers, and I think that one was pretty wearable. That was a maybe for me. And then, oh gosh, where's the summer one? If I can't come up with it fast, I will put it in the Finisterre. There we go. Just in the nick of time. Finisterre. The only reason I didn't buy Finisterre is because it's like a wood salt, like you're on a beach, but not like a sunscreeny. It's like a wood salt, which is not always my favorite. If you know, like it was a kind of a fresh, but it had enough going on that it didn't strike me as just like a one note fresh, or not wearable enough, because that's not technically a profile that I tend to look for. But Finisterre was a really cool fragrance, and I am going to buy it. The only reason I didn't buy it is because we're so well off from summer at this point. I got time. So I'm going to go back probably for some of the more wintry ones, like that Dirty Flower from Kerosene, or the Snowy Owl from Zoologist, something like that. Maybe even that Palace Horse one. Something like that probably I will go back for before going towards summer scents. But come summer, I'm getting that one too. It was really pretty. As I said, this house is out of Italy, so it's not a US brand. But really pretty scents. The bottles are nice too. You can only really see the travel, but I'll put a full-size one up here too, so you can see what the full-size bottles look like. Wow. I also have their whole little book here so I can browse, some light reading, and get to know their scents. I had so much fun at this perfume store. I will be back. I mean, I don't tend to make like a whole series about going to Pickwicks Mercantile, but I tend to make a plan of traveling there and getting to know every brand that they have. And as I discover more fragrances, I will report back on what I find. I had such a great time. I'm obsessed with these scents. As I said, I kind of got the strongest gourmands. That's what my fellow who I neglected to get the name of said. He said, "Oh, you have a vibe today," because I told him I liked like ouds, and he showed me a lot of that. And I said I liked musks, and he showed me a lot of that. And then I ended up with 3 gourmands, and he's like, "Oh, you had a vibe." I'm like, "Yep, rainy day." You know, it was cold, cruddy. These were the kind of things that were comforting to me in the moment. So I did come away with 3 gourmands. Unusual for me, but they fill a nice niche in my collection, and I will go back for some more wearable ones probably next time. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. Other niche brands or other locals, as I said, I'm not just doing my local, so I could do your local. If you've got a local perfume store you'd like me to reach out to and get some samples of and review, please let me know in the comments. If you enjoy fragrance content, blind buys, shop local, hauls, but please subscribe to Second is the Best. I upload whenever it strikes my fancy, which lately has been pretty often. I hope you enjoyed this. As you can tell, I'm still riding my high from Saturday. I'm gonna go enjoy these scents. Have a great day, and I will hopefully see you in the next one.